Bring on board Nitin Raheja as well. Lots to discuss. Nitin, hi, afternoon. Don't know what to go first with. The move in SBI or the fact that HDFC Bank continues to reel under pressure and is at a 52-week low. Let's take it up on HDFC Bank first, Nitin. Do you think there could be some value buying? As Ajay was just highlighting, some of the funds have been parking money into it in the last month or so.
Well, I think just the sheer pressure of what we have seen over the last 2-3 months in terms of if foreign institutional investors having sold so aggressively into all private banks, and of course HDFC has borne the brunt of it as such. But I think clearly we are getting to that stage where in fact a lot of them are fundamentals are although the quarterly numbers have gone in line with expectations. But I think the whole liquidity flow that is coming in is actually keeping them depressed. So I think they're gradually getting to a place where I think they're getting attractive by the day. And I think it's a matter of time where you start seeing somewhere this whole bottoming out effect. Because right now, again, if you look at it from a consensus perspective, the view has again become very negative. And the hope trade that was earlier being played out is not happening. So I think we're getting to that stage where there is clearly value sitting there. It's only a question of when you start seeing the flows ease off, and I think that will happen sooner than later.
The value is there on the table, and of course in terms of timing the market, nobody has managed to master that, so don't even attempt that. If you see value on the table, do make your plans accordingly to park the money. But in terms of the other gainers, Aluvalia Contracts is up 11%, another result reaction coming in. And take a look at Amber Enterprises as well. The numbers were weak and the stock had reacted to those numbers, but now it's recovering from lows. So there is some fresh buying emerging at Amber Enterprises as well. And a couple of these defense names, Power Dynamics for instance, Hindustan Aeronautics, all of these stocks are in focus. Just to broaden that theme, in case of what's happening to the defense pack as well, what's your take when it comes to the defense stock, Nitin? Would you still be a buyer in those names?
I think, the whole process of re-rating has already taken place in almost all of them. It's all being driven by future expectations, order books, and so on and so forth.
So I want to talk to you about the upstream oil and gas companies. We were just talking among ourselves that ONGC, for example, has done almost 78,000 crore in cash profit in the last 12 months. And now the word on street is that they will be focusing on improving their production. At a 3.5 lakh crore MCAP, does it appear fair to you on valuation terms? ONGC or Oil India, for example? These two haven't done a whole lot among the PSU pack.
So I think, when you talk about the conversation being on improving production, I think that should always be the case, right? Why should it be the case today? I mean, when you talk about significant discoveries being made and, India wanting to become self-resilient, I think that is the stated aim of any company of increasing oil production. So I think you see I think as far as the upstream oil companies are concerned, they will be cash generators, right? The whole question is always in these companies, the question mark always that comes, especially as when you see oil prices moving up. They've never been able to capture the full move of oil prices because at that time, they have to sort of subsidize it because the OMCs downstream start losing money because of political considerations. Oil price, they are now never fully sort of passed on. So I think the challenge has always been, as far as the OMCs is concerned, is that cash generation, not a problem. Paying out of the cash, again, it's not really an issue. It's really a focus on growing. And there, in terms of fresh discoveries or volume growth, that's always been the challenge that they've faced. So I would rather like to see how that happens rather than, just go by that, because it's something that has been talked about for a very long time, and it's not only today.
Nitin, what's your view on pharma right now, and how would you dissect the various verticals within pharma?
I think if you look at pharma clearly, the one vertical which is doing very well is domestic pharma. However, you can clearly see the pricing, the valuations of domestic pharma, and they're sort of getting into a quasi FMCG sort of valuation mode. if you look at some of the domestic pharma companies. But again, stable businesses, good margins, brand orientation, and so on and so forth. Generic pharma is making a comeback on the back of the fact that there is a shortage of generic medicine in the US, and prices have rebounded from the bottom. So I think we are overall, if you ask me, we are positive on pharma as a pack. We think that the uptick that we saw in pharma over the last 1 year it will continue, because also valuations are not terribly expensive, especially for the generic pharma business.
Okay, Nitin, always great to have you on the show. We'll let you go on that note.